Okay, I am ready to make a YouTube video for all of you. It's been several months since I've made one, but hey, life has been happening, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I am Devon. Thank you for watching my channel, DadNDaddies. I like to make videos about being a gay dad. A few weeks ago on my Instagram, I gave you all the opportunity to ask me some questions. And almost all of them were about dating, so we're gonna get into that. Before we do that, as a dad on the internet, I want to do my part to encourage you to take care of your health, particularly your sexual health, since we're talking about dating today. So, here's a few little reminders for you because we can never have enough reminders to take care of our health. Number 1, practice safer sex. Do everything you can to reduce your risk of STIs and contracting HIV. Please. Number 2, get tested regularly, every 3 to 6 months if you are dating multiple people and are sexually active. Number 3, know your status. It is so important that you know your HIV status and that you communicate it to your partners and that you ask them what their status is as well. And that leads me into the sponsored portion of this video. As you know, I regularly work with Johnson & Johnson, particularly to advocate for their research and work in HIV. My good friends at J&J keep me posted regularly on the work that they are doing in the realm of HIV and AIDS, and they are up to some really awesome things right now. As I mentioned in previous videos, J&J is working on a vaccine that will put an end to HIV. This is very different from pills like PrEP, which are an important tool in the fight against AIDS, but because of how often they have to be taken, they are not as effective as something like a vaccine would be. A few years back, Johnson & Johnson started clinical trials on women in Africa, a particular group of people who are at risk. And now recently, they've started something that is going to be really awesome for the LGBT community, in that they are starting clinical trials on men who have sex with men and transgender people in North America and South America and Europe. So this is one of the biggest clinical trials that they've done, and it's being done in our community, and it's going to be a really important step in fighting to end HIV. If you'd like to learn more about this study, or if you'd even like to volunteer to be a part of it, please see the link in my description below, and you can find more information there. So thank you, Johnson & Johnson, for not only sponsoring this video, but for all the work you do to better our community and give us all hope that one day we can live in a world that is HIV-free. Now, on to your question. Question number 1. Thoughts on monogamy? You guys love to ask me tough questions, and we're just getting a great one right from the start here. It's a question I think a lot of gay YouTubers and Instagrammers get because it's such a tough topic and because open relationships and polyamory are becoming more and more prevalent and accepted today. It is such a tricky issue because there's not really any right or wrong when it comes to this. It's a very personal choice, and a lot of it depends on your beliefs and your life situation, whether, your job, your family, your religion, a number of different factors. But here's my 2 cents on it. So there's not any one particular right or wrong type of relationship. It's on a scale, really. There is monogamy at one end, on over to polyamory at the other end, and open relationships somewhere in the middle. And it's a spectrum, so you can fall anywhere along that. As many people do when they come out of the closet, I myself explored various kinds of openness in previous relationships, but for myself, where I'm at right now, I want someone who only wants me. And so a monogamous commitment is what I am looking for. That being said, there is no shame in exploring or choosing an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship, and so those in those relationships should not be shamed for their choices. Next question. What's your drink of choice? If I'm on a date, I'm trying to not look too messy. I'll get a Manhattan, sometimes a Boulevardier, which is like a fancier, sweeter Manhattan. It has Campari in it. And if I'm just trying to have a fun night of dancing with my friends, I go for the basic vodka soda or vodka Red Bull. Kind of basic, sorry. Next question. What dating apps do you have? Currently none. Next. Hooking up as a single dad. Not really sure if that's a question, but as a co-parent, I have plenty of time when I'm not with my kids, and so I'm assuming if you're a single dad, you have time away from your kids as well. So I say as long as you're following my tips that I gave you at the beginning about practicing safer sex, then go for it. Here's a good question. Do I get anxiety around straight guys? I don't really get anxiety around someone because they're straight or because they're a guy. It's mostly that I get anxiety around people. You can call that social anxiety. People might be surprised that someone who is as active on social media as I would have social anxiety. But I do, and that's why I use a camera to communicate with you guys. It's just my way of doing things. Helps me to better connect with people. And alcohol helps too. Okay, here's a question. Are you going to talk about what happened between you and Rob? Oh, because the YouTube video and the multiple Instagram posts and stories that I posted last April were not enough for you? I'm sorry. We split up over a year ago, and so that's old news. I've moved on. I hope he's moved on. I wish him the best. I'm not gonna keep talking about this anymore. That's that on that. A related question. How do you get over someone you thought you loved? Here's my advice. Listen to the song Tusa. If you don't know Spanish, it's about a girl who gets her heart broken by a guy, and so she goes to a club to use men until she feels no longer sentimental about men. And there you go, you're over your breakup. On a more serious note, the best way to get over someone is to take care of your health, your mental health, your physical health. See a therapist. I spent a lot of time traveling last year, which also was great therapy for me. Not to discount actual therapy, which I also did, but take some time to rediscover yourself, connect with who you are, do some self-exploration, get some great friends to help you through it, and you'll be just fine. Awesome question. Are you dating anyone right now? And would you put your relationship on social media? Good question. I'm gonna answer the second part first. Would I put my relationship on social media again? Yes and no. Will I post about someone that I'm dating? Yes, absolutely. I think it'd be really hard to not post about someone that I'm traveling with or doing stuff at home with. So yeah, of course I'm going to. It would be weird not to. Will I have a joint account with them and post every photo of us together and every caption written in the collective we? No. I've done that. I've been an Insta couple. I don't have an interest in being one again. As far as the question of am I dating anyone right now, I got that question a lot a few weeks ago, and so I actually already answered it on my Instagram, but I'll answer it here for my YouTube people. Yes, I am dating someone. We've been together for just a few months. It's really new. He's a really great guy. He's really handsome. But because it's so new, I'm not going to share a lot about our relationship. Dating after going through a breakup is terrifying, as I made a post about on Valentine's Day. But it's going well so far. We'll see if he kills me or locks me in a cage. Next question, unrelated to dating this time. Staying fit as a busy dad. I try to work out as often as I can. It's hard sometimes when I have my kids because I don't want to leave them home alone to go to the gym. Sometimes I try and do a little workout at home, but most of the time I just try and catch up when I'm not with them. Especially if I'm traveling a lot, it's really hard to stay fit. But I try to work out 3 to 4 times a week. I try to eat as healthy as I can. A few years ago, I saw a fitness coach because I wanted to put on some more muscle. I had a great experience in that I was able to gain some of the weight that I wanted to gain, but I stopped going to him because he kept pushing me to like build more and more muscle mass and be like a bodybuilder type, and that just wasn't for me. I'm not interested in that. So yeah, I think my advice for you is if you prioritize your health, it will show. Maybe you'll have a little bit more weight around the middle, or you may have not quite the muscle mass that you would ideally have. But hey, gotta give it to you, especially if you're a single parent and you're working on your fitness, like props to you. Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't be so focused on the physical attributes. Focus more on your overall health. Last question, unrelated to dating, but very related to being a dad, particularly me with my background. Are your kids being raised Mormon, and are you doing anything to offer them other perspectives? My answer, yes. They're being raised Mormon. Their mom is Mormon. She takes them to church. As far as my role in that, I don't take them to church. I don't practice Mormonism myself, but I do my best to instill healthy values and ethics in my kids. I do that by teaching them science and reason. So every night before bed at their mom's house, they read scriptures. Every night before bed at my house, we learn science and reason. And one of the ways that we do that is by watching YouTube videos. There's one called Kurzgesagt, which has like several million subscribers. So if you haven't heard of them, you should follow them because they teach in really fun animated videos, really interesting science topics and ethics and morals. And yeah, check them out. A little free plug for one of my favorite YouTube channels. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. If you have more questions, please write them in the comments below and I will do my best to respond to them. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to follow along on my adventures in dadhood and gayhood on Instagram at DadNDaddies. Thank you again, and have a great day.